Hi, it's David at Art of David Smith. So, this week I thought we'd draw a little Spider-Man to go with the little Harlequin what we did. So, before we get too far into this, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button right now and we'll see how many more subscribers we can get this week. Obviously, with everything what's going on in the world, I don't want to bat on about that too much, but what I will say is to all my followers around the world, please stay safe, please do what you're told to do, and we'll all get through this together. So, little Spider-Man. Alright, so what I'm starting with is obviously the classic egg shape for the head. Now, when we do these little characters, we always want to try and make the head slightly larger than in regards to what it would be for, I suppose, the real Spider-Man, because we're playing with the sizes to accentuate certain features to make him look smaller. So what I'm going to try and do is have him swinging in here. So I'm placing centre lines just like I did with the eyes, just so I get the limbs in the right orientation and stuff. So okay, this will start making sense hopefully. So let's throw this arm thrown back here. Now as he's flinging in, we're going to have obviously the front hand, due to foreshortening, is going to appear a lot larger than the hand towards the back. And what I'll do off of camera is put all the webs on and things like that, all those little details, because I will have to refer to a costume or something like that, so I get the costume looking virtually correct. So yeah, we've got the classic egg. We're then throwing in the central bones, if you like, to the limbs. Of his other arm coming down here towards us. I'm just keeping it all nice and loose. We're not really stressing with these ones. We're just having a bit of fun with them. But what I'll try and do over the forthcoming weeks is just try and throw in some little light-hearted ones like this, just to keep things ticking over. But obviously a lot of you are going to be at home watching these. Some of you will be missing out on art at school, so if there's anything that you would like me to cover, please leave a comment along with a like if you like what you've seen here. So that foot coming over there. I'm going to have this other leg kind of trailing back here, so this front hand now, I'm going to add on to that arm. So I'll stick the fist in, and as obviously I mentioned earlier, this hand is going to be larger than the other because it's a lot closer to us. So remember your foreshortening. If there are any other characters that you'd like me to cover, I've been playing with a few of them today, experimenting, breaking them down to do something with. So what I'm particularly looking forward to having a go at, if everybody or if anybody else is interested, is Wolverine, like a young Wolverine. So we've got this foot kind of trailing behind because I'm going to have him. Just need a ruler for this. So I always say don't use rulers in your art, but there are occasions when you can get away with it. So I just tend to have this kind of knotty webbing type effect when they do the webs in the comic books. So I've been firing in like that. So partly for the webs, but if we get a centre on the face, so because I've got the egg shape like here, we can drag a line down, allowing for the curve of the face, or obviously underneath the mask, and then we can split that up properly. So now we've split that, it's a lot easier to split these sides for eventually where the webs on the face will end up going. Come down, keep allowing for the curve of the mask. The bottom of the eyes, you won't see that one. Top here. Usually with something like this, if you don't quite get the perspective going on there, it will stand out quite well straight away really, so you can just rub it out, have another go at it. So it'll just be a quickish video this one. I'm going to ink part of him in, but I'm going to throw the suit in something like that. Come up here, we can actually use this, what would be the line of the bone through the arm, we'll actually put his, and same with this one as well. I think those will end up being where the webs, so on the inside blue, on the outside will end up being red when I colour this one in. So what I'll do is throw a little bit of the web in there for good look, but do the rest off the camera. It'll end up being something like that. So we're going to end up ignoring this central line, but we needed that central line to start the construction. So again, when you do your clean-up, you can knock those out and not bother with them. So as I just start to put some of the detail in, I want to thicken these lines around the eyes. Again, when I ink, I'll clean it up further still. But again, a bit like Harley Quinn, I suppose, there are so many talented artists out there. I didn't want to embarrass myself by trying to copy their fantastic art. I just wanted to try and do my take on it, my little bit of a homage to Spidey and some of the other comic book characters that I've just adored and loved over the years. So I'll excuse me, add a little bit of ink in here as well. But you can see we're starting with that egg, how we started to construct it, threw the bones in of the pose that we were looking for, and obviously I was going for quite a dynamic pose here, as Spidey tends to be. There's swinging in somewhere or other. Always tends to be really dynamic poses, so that's kind of what I've gone for. But as with the other ones, around the outsides where you're not seeing like two sides of the line, we tend to go a little bit thicker. So a lot of these are thicker outside lines, and then when I go to the inner lines, you can grab for the pen what I dropped on the floor. Yeah, so with the inner ones, where you are seeing both sides, we're going to use the thinner line. Okay, so again with this one, swap out to the fatter line because we're not going to see the other side of that. And now I tend to use 0.5s and 0.3s for doing most of my work. And if I need a fatter line, I can always use a Sharpie or something like that to get the fatter line what I require. So maybe under here I can throw some of the fatter line. If you're picking up some noise, excuse me, but I do have the kids at home for obvious reasons. So they've been actually doing their homework all day, or classwork now. Lessons have predominantly changed to all being homeschooled. So rather than do the whole lot, throw these ones in and leave the finer detail so I don't bore you silly off camera. Okay, so quickly what I'll do with that web, swap the pens out. So again, we're going to run line and probably what I'll end up doing is I'll scan this in on the computer, and then like in this area where I've actually put the web or put the arm over the top of the web, I'll just whip that out and clean it out. So again with the web, I tend to have this bunchy type detailing. If you look at the comics, fan of the comics, you can look. Just again, it's one of those little things which add structure to the webs, rather than just being a bit of huge lines and things like that in the drawings. So these are all the techniques that they've honed over the years, and anybody drawing these things tends to use in their own work. So there we go. Got to observe the correct Spidey etiquette. So there we have it. Relatively quick one, but again, starting with the egg shape in this respect, or in this regard, we then went through, we boned out the position that we wanted to have Spidey flying in on. But play with it, have a go yourself, if there's other characters you want to have a go at. So remember, when you're doing anything like this, when you're making it a more childlike, keep the feet probably a bit larger than normal, the head larger than normal, shrink the body down, don't have the limbs as long. These are all your classic things for a smaller child. So use those little guides, have a crack at one yourself, and if anybody wants to post up or email me through some of their attempts, by all means, just follow some of the links which I've got on my page, and we'll take it from there. But thanks for watching. Thanks again for subscribing. Please hit subscribe again if you haven't already. Stay safe, look after each other, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.